Well, the 75th Annual Golden Globe Awards is all everyone's talking about. Actually, Sacramento's Greta Gerwig was actually on The View this morning. Very exciting. And we're also talking a lot about Oprah Winfrey's powerful speech.
Too long, women have not been heard or believed if they dared to speak their truth to the power of those men. But their time is up. I want all the girls watching here and now to know that a new day is on the horizon.
And it certainly is. It's a very powerful message that I know a lot of women really took to heart at that moment. And speaking of women empowerment, we actually have author Erin Lyon. She's here today with us. She's releasing a new book called, well, I'll tell you in a moment, but it actually highlights career women. And this one woman in particular who's trying to balance her career and her own love life. I know that this may actually be a little bit of a personal touch for you in this book, which we're going to highlight on as well. But it's called Unconditionally. So Erin, tell us a little bit about this story in this book first.
So Unconditionally is actually the sequel to my first book that came out last year called I Love You, Subject to the Following Terms and Conditions. I'm a lawyer. And that is a lawyer's title right there, I think. So the sequel is called Unconditionally, and it's actually sort of just, they're both romantic comedies. It's based on, in a world where there's no marriage, there's only 7-year contracts.
Oh, okay.
And
Very
then
interesting concept.
Yes, and a new lawyer and dealing with her own relationships and things like that. But the premise is sort of no marriage, just 7-year contracts that you can breach, let expire, renew.
Yeah, but you know, I think the whole kind of through line of the story, though, is like a woman trying to find balance, right? It's that balancing the career, balancing love life. I think that's something that all women can relate to, regardless of where they're at in their path of life. And I think that kind of speaks a little bit to women's empowerment and the fact that, you know, this is a very relatable story.
And that was always my goal, was it is a romantic comedy. I love romance novels, I always have. But out of the feedback that I get on it, a lot of people, beyond just loving the romance aspect of it, they talk all the time about how they love the female friendships in it and the support that how supportive they are of each other. And what's funny about the female empowerment part of it is that I know a lot of brilliant female attorneys. I went to school with so many women. But it really is still a very male-dominated field, and I have been in many rooms where, from the judge to all of the other attorneys, it's 6 suits and me.
Yeah.
And you really do realize that. And so I was able to have so much fun, especially in the sequel, having Kate really get into her lawyer profession and bring, you know, men and women are just different in the way that they communicate. And so I think that being able to show the way that she empathizes and her compassion with her clients and maybe communicates with them in a way that's different than men do. I was able to have a lot of fun with that.
And would you say that this echoes a little bit of your experience as a lawyer?
Oh my gosh. So a lot of the funny stories in this that have to do with legal shenanigans actually are exaggerated a lot less than people would think.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
People in litigation, things, you know, reasonable people do unreasonable things, and things. I've had some really interesting.
So it's kind of your chance to be a fly on a wall in a situation like that, right?
Yes,
Kinda,
exactly.
Yes. Observe from afar and laugh when needed. You have a book signing coming up.
I do.
Okay, so tell us about that.
Yeah, so this Saturday, January 13th, 2 p.m., I will be at Barnes & Noble in the Palladio, which is a fantastic new Barnes & Noble if you haven't been out there. They have a full kitchen and wine and beer, and it's a gorgeous new store. It's a gorgeous new store. And then I will also be at the Sacramento Library Foundation's Authors on the Move event in March, which is a really good event if anybody's ever heard of it. It's a fantastic event, and it raises money for the entire summer reading program for the Sac Library Foundation.
Wonderful. So it's a great event to attend to for a great
fantastic.
cause. And a good opportunity to see you and to also to see you and get your book signed. This is it, everybody. Unconditionally. Make sure you check it out, ladies. Ladies, I'm going to let them get a good shot of this. Where can people find this?
Everywhere. So it came out in stores today. The first book is also out in stores, but you can find it on Barnes & Noble, Amazon, you can get it on iTunes, it's Powell's, you can find it everywhere.
The following interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.